before the gathering council, I see. So thank you very much for coming. Then we have got two important people from the hospice. One is Rachel Green from Richard House in Beckton, and Mike Charlton from the Haven House. Thank you very much for coming. I'll be saying something about the hospice and why I selected this when we come to the statue function. We've got Ron here. Very, very nice to see you. Yeah. We have got our shall we say our ladies club, the Inner Read Club president here, Shamim Gawani is here. And the members of the Inner Read Club, thank you very much for coming and joining us this afternoon. Right, we have greetings from other clubs.
Yes, Mr. President.
Yes.
I was in Colombo last week, and I happened to find out which was the nearest club. I spoke to the president, and he said we only meet on the first and the last week of the month. So I missed their meetings.
Yeah.
I had a long chat with him, and so I bring the greetings of the president and the members, like the above.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Any other? Visit to any other clubs? Okay. Birthdays?
Not mine.
Who said that? You haven't?
Yes, there isn't any birthdays. Invalids, Raymond?
Mr. President, I've been trying to get in touch with Rebecca, but I think he's away with his daughter. But as you say, it's nice to see you on here today as well.
Yeah.
It's nice to see you on.
Thank you.
I can't hold you later on today, but I think you're away.
Thank you very much. Apologies, Jeff.
President, so far I've received apologies from Keith Garden, David Fell, Rutel Kerr and Margaret Ryan. We have a few who haven't turned up.
Then I will be requesting the fellows to be abstaining for the royal toast, and then after the royal toast, the third part of the objective vote will be read by our secretary, Brian Towns. Very I wasn't sure.
Close.
Hesitated for a second. Okay. To the
Good.
Thank you, Mr. President. The object of Rotary is to encourage and foster the ideal service as a places of worthy enterprise, and in particular to encourage. The third object, the application of the ideal of service in each Rotarian's personal, business and community life.
Thank you. Please be seated. Presentation of the checks for the charity which I had in my house in November, 1st November 2016. October 2016. So, thank you. The thing is that you may wonder why I have taken the hospice. In 2001 or 2, I visited the Richard House in Beckton. For some reason, we had few doctors and few of our colleagues and one or two Rotary members went and visited the Richard House. And the sight which has provoked my feelings that there are people who need our help, young people suffering from cancer and various other ailments, and these angels looking after them till they depart this world. And it's really struck me. And that year, my president's project in 2002 was for the Beckton Hospice. We only collected a small amount, about £2,000. But we have collected that money and gave it to the Beckton. So in my mind, and I thought, if there is any opportunity for me to do the same thing, I should be giving to this hospice. And when I became the president here of the Rotary Club of Manchester Minister, I thought we should have a president's project, something unique, something to be written in the history of Rotary clubs. Every president should have a project, and I'm sure the incoming president also will honor that this one, so that you can be credited with that for this project. So this time, I again thought of, Richard House in Pector. But then again, I thought I am in the Havering district, so it's not fair for me to donate something for the East London hospices. So I started looking for the hospices in Havering, and that's so the Haven in Woodford has come. So we thought we will divide whatever collection we have, we will divide between the two houses for this good work. I would urge people who haven't visited these places to go and see this place and see the good work these people are doing. It's really, really a worthwhile project, and you will have the intention or the urge to give it to some sort of donation to them in the future. Anyway, and then this was almost finalized. The Burma Medical Mission came, and those people came to me. Few doctors from Havering Queen's Hospital and King George's Hospital came to us and asked. They are doing a Burma charity medical mission. About 10 of them are going to Burma in the interior part of Burma, and they are doing medical clinics and also helping them in diagnosis, because even basic amenities, basic investigative procedures are not there. So this cardiologist, Dr. Andrew Diener, has taken his portable echo machine, and they have taken some laboratory items. Pharmacists have taken few medications, Mr. Mehta and his wife. And also there was a nurse who was all doing general nursing care. So they went right into the interior. I don't know, I can't remember the name of the place. They gone into this right interior village, and they have conducted various clinics for 10 days. And Dr. Jagan John will be here very soon. He's on his way. He will tell. They were seeing about almost 80 to 90 patients each a day. People with, he was saying that they have seen ladies with cancer of the breast, which is putrefied and was coming out of the breast tissue, and fungated lesion, like a cauliflower kind of lesion coming out, and they're just walking around, and they're happy, maybe having pain and that sort of thing, but they have no means of going into the hospital and getting treated. When we are sitting in this heaven, we don't think what is happening in the other parts of the world, you see. So thanks to the NHS and the doctors who are working there, we are doing a very good service. But when you think about these medical facilities in these places, it will be terribly worrying. So I have promised them, okay, I'll give you a share of the taking of the charity lunch gala for them as well. So we have collected almost 11,500 pounds in total. This is because of the hard work of the people of the Rotary Club, my colleagues, and also some of the doctors from the Burma Medical Mission who are going to Burma, and also our relations, friends, and people like that. With their hard work, I mean, to tell you that a person, a restaurant owner in Caraway in Ilford, offered the food, the meal for all of the people, and there's almost 300 plates was served that day. I was told, free of charge. There's a man who put the marquee. He told that he doesn't want it. Normally it will charge about 10,000 pounds. You've seen the style of the marquee, and he told that he wouldn't charge anything for that. And the soft drinks and wine was supplied by for Jagan John, my son, and the chairs were offered by someone else. Everything was. The moment we mentioned that this is for the hospices and also the Burma Medical Mission, people were so benevolent, people were so willing to give. And thanks to them that we have collected all this money. So I have great pleasure in calling, first of all, Rachel Green from the Richard House to accept this cheque of £4,550. And I would ask the councillor to give this cheque to Rachel.
Thank you very much indeed. Thank you.
To say something that would be great.
Well, I think you put it probably better than I could about Richard House. And thank you for everything you said about the hospice. And I mean, it's really true that when you come to Richard House, and I'm sure Haven House as well, you just being there, you understand why it's so important that these places continue to exist. And you know, we're small local charities, and so having people like you spread the word and raise awareness and raise funds really does mean an awful lot. And the amount you raise is amazing, and I just think it really will make a huge difference to the hospices. And I just want to reiterate that you are all more than welcome to visit at any point. We always want people to come and to be able to see the work we're doing, and hopefully encourage them to tell other people about us and raise funds and awareness. So just a huge thank you again, and
thank
you all.
The next cheque goes to Heaven's House, and on their behalf, Mr. Matt Charlton is going to accept the cheque. I'll ask Ron to give the cheque.
Good idea.
Present to him. Don't you dare take this cheque. Any manage?
Yeah, great.
He's checking it.
It's a very, very great pleasure indeed. And the first time I think I've given a cheque like this away. It's always very wonderful when you can pass something over to somebody else, and particularly this sort of situation. So it does give me an extreme pleasure ahead of this opportunity. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I just wanted to share 2 moments we had over the past couple of weeks at Haven House that remind me why it's such a privilege to work there. One of the fantastic pieces of kit we have at Haven House is eye gaze technology. And this is where, through a headset, children and young people can use their eyesight to control what happens on the screen. And a young girl of about 8 years was using this. And due to her complex needs, Mum and Dad thought that she had absolutely no cognitive ability. But through this eye gaze technology, the nurse said to the girl, "Show me the animal that says moo." And she moved the cursor to the cow.
Oh, wonderful.
So for the first time in this girl's life, Mum and Dad actually knew when we're speaking to her, she understands what we're saying. The second moment was happening outside of the window of a big team meeting we were in. Sorry. And a young boy who comes to us has spastic quadriplegia. And we have only ever seen him in a wheelchair. But through extensive physiotherapy and therapeutic yoga, he was using a wheelchair bike. So again, for the first time in his life, Mum saw him use his legs unaided. So when you do support children's hospices, so charities like Haven House and Richard House, you are helping these children and their families make memories that are going to last a lifetime. So all I can say again is just a huge thank you, because your support will make memories for these families. So thank you.
fellows, guests, my third check should be going to the Burma medical mission. Unfortunately, one doctor is doing, Dr. Anne Baldwin is doing an extended clinic this afternoon, an emergency clinic. Cheque has gone for some business and he's on his way, and he told he'll be 20 minutes late, about 10 minutes ago. So I think we'll carry on with our programs, and if he comes, we'll give the check. Otherwise, I'll hand over to them later and make them come to one and show their appreciation to our intention. So that was very worthwhile job we have done as a Rotary Club. It has nothing to do with me alone, but it is all the Rotarians who have come. Some of the members came at 8:30 in the morning to put the banners up and all the tents and various other marquees to put up and various things. Norman was running around like a yo-yo. Then we say, it's normal. That's normal. So everybody was very active in that, and people have donated some items for the raffle and everything. So we have done a good job, and we should be proud of it. We should pat our back and say, yes, we have done, as a Rotary Club, we have done very well. And we will be continuing this, I hope, in future years. And I will ask Jakob to remember this, and also the Indian, and also possibly Eddie Edison in due course when he becomes the president, whenever he becomes. So this is the thing, because I'm sure Rachel and Matt will be saying about Rotary Club of one session up in, so I don't think he ever knew that there was a Rotary Club. So I think this is a very good gesture, and we are very delighted to have you both here and presently with the check. Probably next year, who knows, it will be something more than this. We don't know. I thank Councillor John Cowder for his presence, and also all the members of the Inner Wheel Club, including the president, to be a part of this today's historic day.
Well, Mr. President, yes. This is called the service above self.
Yes, that's it.
And that's what the motto of the Rotary Club is. And this is what we should always remember at the back of our mind.
Well, well said. Yes, sir.
Listening to the wonderful examples you gave just now, it confused me a little in that my understanding may be wrong. Is your work at the hospice long-term with children or short-term? Or both?
I'm sure our answer would be really similar. Yes. So, that's a real misconception about children's hospices, is that because adult hospices and children's hospices are very different in that with children, they're referred to us from diagnosis rather than prognosis. So these children could be living with these illnesses for a very long time, but their lives are much more complicated and they need much more support than other children. So for some of the children, they're at severe risk of dying. For some of them, they've got definitely going to have shortened lives. For some of them, they might recover. So it's really complex and it's all different conditions.
Would you, I have a very good reason for asking this question. Would you be able to say to me that there is a child or a project for a child from this area that you need specific funding for?
A specific child or children from this area?
I have to think of a child or children from this area. Yeah, from this area is important.
For Havering, I would have to go back and check with our care team. But I do know there are a number of projects we are working on at the moment. So over our general catchment area.
To satisfy a criteria, it need to be benefiting children from this area. But we may be able to help.
I mean, so we'll both have annual reviews which split up what areas our children are from. So the boundaries of children's hospices are again, it depends on the family where they choose to go. So we can both provide you with information of last year and where the children.
In the future, because I'm thinking what we might need for the future.
Yeah, then we can definitely go back. We'd have to speak to sort of.
I'll talk to you before you go.
Okay.
John?
Thank you. Yes,
I'd like to once again thank Cockham and John for his initiative in doing this and all the wonderful work his family have done and the help and support that the Rotary have hopefully given him. So thanks again, John. I've never ever done before. Present a man with a bouquet up there. Can you kindly hand them over to Philippa for me, or us? And say she was surely missed.
Yeah.
And
I do bring apologies actually from the Mayor. If she could have managed to get out of bed and come here today, she would have done. She was quite poorly actually, so much so that she was actually going to be speaking to the doctor on the phone as I left. But I wish she would have been here. She was quite disappointed that she didn't get here herself. I hope you didn't mind the substitute. It's fine. I came from the ARS today. But in the charities that you've supported today, you know, children's charities are always worth supporting. Their children usually are the future. But there's a saying, and I can't remember where it came from, but they say that no person walks at all than they used to help a child, which is what you've done today. So, congratulations.
Just on a nice note, you can tell Mayor Philippa that she should have been here because we have got 4 doctors. One got it. So we could have given the best treatment. No waiting, nothing. Anyway, fellows, I want to say that once we have finished this program, just remind you about January 26th for our satellite club meeting. This is also a new initiative as a club we have taken. 26th, the place has been booked to Mandarin Palace, same place, but we will not be jetting out the area where we met for the meal. We will be sitting there and having the meal. Isn't it wonderful?
That will be fantastic, yes, because the bar is right behind us.
So it's a version of that. Right. Okay. Any other business? I don't think. I think we can make an honorable Cheque. So if he joins, he will. Before we go, then we will hand over. Otherwise, he will pass on the check on your behalf.